everyone, welcome to Monday's Maths. Today we are going to be using our knowledge that we have gained from place value to 20 and put it to the test thinking about addition to 20. So for today you are going to have something that looks like this here, and you will use that with maybe counters, bits of Lego, Cheerios, anything you've got at home which is small enough to be able to fit quite a few onto each section. So you've got a first, a then and a now section, and I'm going to show you how you will use those mats with our input. So we are thinking about adding, and to add, that is counting on from a number that you already have. So I need your help to help me do some counting. Are you ready? So first there was apples. So we need to count the apples here to fill in the first part of our STEM sentence. First there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you were doing this, you would have to put 8 Cheerios, counters, bits of Lego into your first part of your table. First, there was 8 apples. Then you will move your 8 apples into this section. So I've moved them across and they are now here in my section. And then underneath it, I am adding on, as I've still got in here the 8 apples that I moved across. I pushed these apples into this section here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 apples still, but underneath I have added some on. Let's work out how many were added on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 apples. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 were added. First there was 8, then 6 were added. Let's move them all across now. All of my first 8 plus my 6 added will all move on into this section here. So I've moved everything across. If I had my mat, I would have gone from here to here with the ones added, and then to here. And now in this section, I've got my 8 plus my 6. Let's work out how many that is. Let's do that in purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my first 8. Now I'm going to count on with the 6 that were added. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I had 8, then 6 were added. I now have 14. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. First, there was how many sweets? Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First, there were 9 sweets. Okay, then I'm going to push all of those across into my then section. So my first is now empty and all of those sweets are in here. But how many have been added? How many extra are there? There are 1, 2, 3. First there were 9. First there were 9. Then 3 were added. Okay, so my next job is to move all of those across. My 9 that I had plus the 3 all need to be pushed across, and I am left with how many am I now? Shall we find out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 12. First there was 9, then 3 were added. Now I have 12. Okay, this time you can see there is a cheeky little number sentence ready to be filled in. So let's do it as we go. First, there were how many donuts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. First, there were 10 donuts. So I'm also going to put my 10 here as it is the start of my number sentence. Okay, then next step, I need to move all of my donuts across into my then section. So I can see those original 10 donuts are still here in my then section, but underneath, how many have I added? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 5 were added. Where will the 5 go in my number sentence? Brilliant, it would go here, wouldn't it? Okay, so now I need to move across my 10 that I had first, plus the 5 that were then added, and I will be left with all of these in my now section. Shall we count and find out how many that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now there is 15. 10 plus 5 equals 15. There we go. So I've used the STEM sentences and the language of first, then and now to create my number sentence here. Okay, this time we've got some acorns to use. So how many am I starting with? First, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First, there was 9 acorns. Where would my 9 go in my number sentence? Here, or it could go here. But as we are moving across, it makes sense to put my 9 there, doesn't it? Okay, next job we need to do is push all 9 acorns into the then section. Push them across. My first is now empty, and here are my 9 that I had to begin with. But how many have been added? Let's find out. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were added. First there were 9, and then 5 were added. Now there is, let's find out, got to push all of these into this section, move them across, move them across. Now I've got none here and they are all in my now. Let's work out how many I now have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now there is 14. Okay, where do I need to put the 14 and where do I need to put the 5? Is it 9 plus 14 equals 5? No, it's not, is it? It is 9 add the 5 that were added equals 14, as I now have 14 acorns in my last section. Brilliant job. Okay, this time get your mats and your counters or your Lego pieces or your Cheerios, and you might want to pause this video whilst you get ready and then we can continue with this question all together. Are you ready with your mats and counters or Cheerios or Lego pieces or whatever you've found to use? Brilliant. So everybody needs in their first section, so yours will look like this. In this section here, it will help if Miss Clark can click it. there we go. Yours will look like this. So in your first section, you need to have 7. So 7 in this section here, okay, everybody? So 7 Cheerios, grapes, counters, Lego pieces in this section here. First, there were 7 acorns. Then 5 more were added. So now you need to move all of these into the then section. And then underneath, you need to put 5. So you will have 7 here. And then underneath here, you should have 5. Okay? Now we are going to fill in our number sentence. So we are ready to go. So first there were 7 acorns. Then 5 were added. Now there are 13. I want you to now move all of your acorns across, the first 7 that we had, plus your 5 that were then added, and tell me if you agree with the question. Is there now 13? Push them all across, have a count, and let me know if you think it is true or false. Okay, so everything should be across now, just like mine. You should have nothing here, nothing here. They should all be in this section. And then you need to count them up and see if you agree. Is there now 13 or is there not now 13? Okay, are you ready? Let's count together and see if you were correct, like me. Shall we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now there is 12. So 7 plus 5 equals 12. So, was I true or false? Was there 13 there? No, that was false, wasn't it? Okay, gorgeous ones. So I'm now going to show you what you are going to be doing today. So you're going to be using the mat that you have been using just for that question then. And you are going to be answering these addition questions. So just like we did on the board, there are some questions here. So first, there were 9 counters. So how many would have to go into your first section? 9. Then 5 more were added. So you would then push your 9 across into then. And underneath, how many will you add? 5. Then you will need to push them all across and count them up to work out how many you now have. So make sure you are using the language of first, then and now. And there is also a box for you. There's quite a few for the children at home to use of these here so that you can fill one in for every addition problem that you do as you go. So for that one, it would have been first there were 9. So 9, add, then 5 equals now. Whatever is in your now would go there. Okay, lovely ones, I can't wait to see what you get up to today. I've been really proud of your place value so far, so I'm sure you will do amazing with this task too. Bye, everyone.